Meghan and Harry met with King Charles at Buckingham Palace after funeral. It was the first time since the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in June. Moments before Queen Elizabeth II's coffin arrived at Buckingham Palace to be received by her family. King Charles III was pictured alongside his son Prince Harry and his wife Meghan for the first time since the Platinum Jubilee service of Thanksgiving in June. The picture showed Charles standing at the bottom of the stairs inside the palace, awaiting his late mother's coffin. With his head bowed and standing alone, members of the King's Guard stood outside awaiting the Queen's Jaguar hearse. Harry, wearing a black suit and tie, stood behind Charles, several feet away alongside his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. There were emotional scenes on Tuesday evening, when the late Queen was brought back to London by plane and taken to Buckingham Palace for the final time. As the hearse carrying the coffin began its journey from RAF Northolt in northwest London, people stood silently by the road with some recording the historic moment on their camera phones. Earlier that evening, Meghan and Prince Harry looked somber as they arrived via car at Buckingham Palace. A heartbroken Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank also appeared visibly emotional as they arrived together. On Wednesday, the King and his sons, Princes William and Harry, will walk behind the Queen's coffin as she leaves Buckingham Palace for the final time ahead of her lying in state. Charles, the Prince of Wales and Duke of Sussex, along with the Duke of York, the Princess Royal and the Earl of Wessex, will form part of the procession on Wednesday afternoon. Anne's son Peter Phillips and her husband Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence will also walk behind the procession, as well as the Duke of Gloucester and the Earl of Snowdon. The Queen Consort, the Princess of Wales, the Countess of Wessex and the Duchess of Sussex will travel by car. The procession will leave the palace at 2:22 p.m. and is expected to arrive at Westminster Hall at 3 p.m. A service lasting around 20 minutes will be led by the Archbishop of Canterbury. William and Harry were seen together on Saturday as they put on a united front with their wives during a surprise walkabout in Windsor. The brothers have a well-documented troubled relationship, but the death of their grandmother saw them unexpectedly come together. When they viewed floral tributes left to the late Queen at Windsor Castle, William, Kate, Harry and Meghan arrived in the same vehicle and greeted well-wishers for around 40 minutes. Before William hopped into the driver's seat of the Audi with his wife in the passenger seat, and his brother and sister-in-law in the back. Queen Elizabeth's coffin will make the journey through London with her family close behind. The late monarch's coffin will travel from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall. The procession will include her four children King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, and several of her grandchildren, including Prince William, Prince Harry and Peter Phillips. The procession will also include Princess Anne's husband Sir Tim Lawrence, the Queen's cousin Prince Richard the Duke of Gloucester and the Queen's nephew David Armstrong-Jones the Earl of Snowdon. William and Harry's wives, Kate Middleton and Meghan, are expected to travel to Westminster Hall by car. Queen Camilla and Sophie, Countess of Wessex will also make the journey in a vehicle. A short service lasting about 20 minutes will be held at Westminster Hall, led by the Archbishop of Canterbury accompanied by the Dean of Westminster. Afterwards, members of the royal family will depart by car. The Queen will then lie in state in Westminster Hall for 5 days, where hundreds of thousands of people are expected to flow through. The Queen's four children took part in a procession behind Queen Elizabeth's coffin, through the streets of Edinburgh, Scotland from the Palace of Holyrood House to St. Giles Cathedral. The solemn procession drew a respectful crowd of thousands to the Scottish capital. While King Charles, Princess Anne and Prince Edward wore military uniforms, Prince Andrew appeared in a suit. Buckingham Palace confirmed that only working members of the royal family will wear military garb to events leading up to and including Queen Elizabeth's funeral. A special exception has been granted for the Duke of York to wear a military uniform at a final vigil, as a sign of respect for the late monarch, who peacefully died at age 96 on the 8th of September. The couple were last pictured together during the impromptu walkabout, outside Windsor Castle, with the Prince and Princess of Wales. Royal fans were delighted to see the two couples put on a united front during their time of grief. The Duke of Sussex had paid tribute to his guiding compass, the Queen. In celebrating the life of my grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen, and in mourning her loss, We are all reminded of the guiding compass she was to so many in her commitment to service and duty, he said. She was globally admired and respected. Her unwavering grace and dignity remained true throughout her life and now her everlasting legacy. Thank you for watching. If you like our video, would you please help us like, share and subscribe our channel. Wish you happy to see our videos. Thank you very much.